I think as the powers in the world are shifting, it's a really good time for software engineers and software developers to be innovative in their approach to social media, how apps are built, and how we connect over the internet. So I'll show you this very tiny little MVP social media app I built over the protocol NOSTR. But first, I have to tell you what NOSTR is. So this website I'm on now is called Snort Social. I don't use it, but it is a social media app built over the NOSTR protocol. So I'll go over what NOSTR offers to you as a software developer, someone looking to create an app, a utility, or a social media, and what NOSTR offers to users who are the main demographic I'll be targeting in this video. So first off, NOSTR is a decentralized protocol meaning standard, a decentralized standard for transmitting information from one person to another over the internet. NOSTR stands for notes and other stuff transmitted by relays, and it's designed to help users resist censorship on social media and on the internet. Now, right off the bat, when I start saying that, we start attracting a lot of types of individuals who might not be the most fun to be around, let's say, on the internet. People who are OCD about privacy and security for valid reasons, and sometimes some very scary and dubious and even illegal reasons. But that's not what I think this form of social media should be purely for. I think the average person is going to see a lot of benefit in moving away from the centralized identity that you have on websites like Tumblr or Twitter or Reddit. On Tumblr, Twitter, and Reddit, when you want to sign up, you sign up with an email and a password. And your email and password creates an account for you that is separate and unique for each of those websites. Even if I use the same username across all three social medias, I'm not the same person across them. My followers on Tumblr or Twitter or Reddit won't know about the me on those other social media sites unless I explicitly tell them, unless I explicitly link to my other profiles in some sort of link tree or in my profile biography. With NOSTR, you have an identity that is generated using a public and private key. And with that private key, you can sign your communication wherever that communication may be. And you can also, with your public key, I believe, I don't know if it's your public key or private key, but I believe it's your public key, you use that to log in. Not log in, to show other people across your social medias. Now, for the developer, NOSTR is nothing but a WebSocket backend that takes in JSON objects, stores them, and transmits them all out. You can subscribe to these events and display them on your website. With this JSON object, you can then, add tags and other information to it to separate the content from your website from the content from other people's websites, and so on and so forth. I'll show you a bit more about what I mean by that when we look at the actual website here. But yes, the protocol is extremely easy to use. I don't think I've ever set up a project this fast. There's an NPM package that you can use to interact with NOSTR, so you don't have to write everything yourself. Literally 99% of standing up a NOSTR application is UI work. So The information you post on NOSTR is sent to a relay, and a user can subscribe to multiple relays at once. So if I post something on Twitter like hi, that tweet is stored in one place, the Twitter servers. Over NOSTR, I post hi, and that, if Twitter was over NOSTR, that tweet would be sent to, let's say, 10 different relays in different places across the world. If someone wanted to delete all of my tweets, or delete that specific tweet where I said hi, on Twitter currently, they only have to delete it in one place on that server. Over NOSTR, they would need to delete it in every one of those relays before any of the other relays could grab a copy of that information again and start the issue all over. You can even stand up your own personal relay. That way, if someone does manage to delete your tweets from every other relay in the world, you still have it on your personal relay and could then resend it back to all of the other relays if you so choose. Now, because of the simplicity of using NOSTR, I was able to develop a social media app very quickly, something I've literally never done before, using Svelte, a front-end language and framework I've never used before, in literally like 2 or 3 weeks of very minimal work each day after work, right? So what does NOSTR give you as the user? It gives you privacy. You don't have to sign up with an email or a password. You generate your public and private key, and then you store that somewhere and you use that to sign in. You are resistant to censorship. So, like I said in the beginning of this video, the powers in the world are shifting. New governments and ways of leading nations are coming into being. And people who were safe in one state of the world might not be safe anymore in the new state of the world. So I think it's important, especially for, let's say, people who are against their current political leadership, people who are targeted by their current political leadership, women who have not enjoyed civil rights and full human rights for the vast majority of human history. We have gotten them very recently, but it could be just a blip. Women's rights could just be a blip in human history. And I would prefer if women were already up to date on how to use these forms of social media that are resistant to government censorship and those kinds of things. The other really great thing that NOSTR gives you is the ability to use the same account for multiple apps or websites. So if I have a Reddit account and a Twitter account and a Tumblr account, 3 different accounts across 3 different apps, my followers on each respective app need to somehow know that I am who I say I am on those other apps. With NOSTR, I take that one private key and I log in to Reddit over NOSTR, and I take that same private key and I log into Twitter and Tumblr over NOSTR. My same username automatically populates. My same information that is shared between the 3 apps automatically populates, and I'm the same person across those 3 apps without having to create 3 different accounts if I don't want to. So that's something that doesn't really exist in the centralized internet currently, the ability to move freely between different apps, sort of like a person driving between different states and renting apartments in different areas. You're the same person, just in a different place. Over NOSTR, it can be that way as well. And because of that, data harvesting, so your emails, spam emails, and all of that and such, is much harder for companies to get by, for hackers to get. It's really bare bones information that you give to these social media apps when they are over these new protocols like NOSTR. Now, NOSTR isn't the only protocol. There's the AT protocol led by BLUESKY. This is what BLUESKY used. I didn't use BLUESKY's protocol when developing this little prototype project because it just seemed more complicated to get working. And with NOSTR, I liked that I could just set up my own NOSTR relay with a click on Docker, and I could get using NOSTR instantly. So here's a little social media app. You can sign in with a NOSTR extension. I don't have that currently, so you can just continue with the guest. Very easy. You saw those threads that I generated. Here you can look at replies. You can reply. Hello. Hit the reply. And it appears down here. So I generated like 1,000 comments in this thread, all lorem ipsum nonsense. You can create threads. So you see I was going for like a Reddit kind of type of thing here. But yeah, you can put links. It's very, very easy. All of this is pure JSON, objects being sent straight to the database. And then on the front end, because I built the app, I know what properties the JSON objects for each type of thing has, then I can parse them in the front end. So NOSTR is a very bare bones. They have little what's called NIPs and NIPs, NOSTR implementation protocols. So I said, hey, I want to implement the concept of a comment, a reply on NOSTR. Has anyone before me ever figured out a suitable structure for that JSON object? And yes, someone has. It's called NIP22. It shows the structure for comments and how to store the parent of the comment in that JSON object, and so on and so forth, which is what I happen to be using right here. Very, very simple. I want to stress to you guys, I'm not really a front-end developer that can usually do this kind of stuff on their own, but NOSTR makes it extremely simple to just do things. There are some drawbacks. Because of the decentralized nature of the protocol, it tends to attract individuals in the crypto community, individuals in the just very low down and parts of the internet, which I'm comfortable saying can be very weird. A lot of weird people on this side of the internet. I want that to change. I want regular people to be getting comfortable with the concept of decentralized communication, decentralized social medias, not because I'm into cryptocurrency, not because I'm quote unquote paranoid or OCD about privacy and a conspiracy theorist and all of that stuff, but because I just believe it's just better and it's safer for all sorts of people, even if you're not one of those groups of people that I mentioned in this video. So I know I don't usually make videos on software related things, but I just wanted to show you guys this project that I have been working on. It's done now. It's private. It's on my GitHub, so you can't see it. But it's just a little prototype of how quickly you can build a social media app over NOSTR. So I hope this video finds at least one person who has kind of been noticing the same thing as I have with the acquisition or the purchasing of Twitter, with the consolidation of ideologies across the owners of various social medias, that maybe perhaps it's better if we just own our identities instead of trusting a corporation to never ban us or to never act in a malicious way towards us. I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about NOSTR, the AT protocol, and any other decentralized protocols. I think for the foreseeable future, I like to do these tiny little projects that never see the light of day. Only I know about them, but I don't like dealing with authentication. So I think I'm going to be using NOSTR purely for authentication since it's so easy. And I will continue to use a custom backend that I code up for everything else. Let me know what you guys think.